About 6 people is this tale, telling about their travels well. You see St. Oscar Rummock. Their travels in Westminster, 1996 take, starting from Britain Lake. As they travel, their distance far, since none of them have a car. They pass the time with stories told of their college days of old. Of the stories of the 6, it is up to you, the best to pick. So sit back and relax, and remember, theater degrees we all presently lack.
I just am such a slacker.
Listen, my friends, and you will hear a story I know you'll hold quite dear. A tale of life you know quite well, about a place that we call hell. My story begins in early fall. It takes place in a dorm called Shaw. My roommate is strange, to say the least. An odd creature, a whorish beast. She spends her days seducing men. I'm not sure how many. I lost track after 10. Nighttime is her favorite time. With beer in hand, she sets off to make her next dime. But morning comes and done is the game. She gathers her clothes and takes the walk of shame.
Student at Westminster, I believe, living on a campus with ratio of 7 to 3. Started the year with one man, but due to a stupid circumstance, he no longer exists, putting me in quite the fix. In my provocative way and skill, many a times I've walked this hill, the walk of shame so many call, the retreat for women from the men's hall. Ball. One morning I returned from a friend, my reputation so close to an end. So unfortunate for a woman as I to fall for that kind of guy. He is loving, caring, and debonair, full head of dark hair. Presently the only man I see, but I'll have my way and set him free. Then there came a night when I was given quite a fright. As I climbed up the hill, I began to feel the eyes of one who likes to stare. But I just tried to ignore the glare, yet it was this hurtful look that read me like a book.
Okay.
And a beer in hand, I am my next man. His eyes glisten and his voice is nice, but the man has a heart of ice. Many women his way conquer. He's even dated some. But now he says he found the perfect one, but I know she satisfies him not. He has the look of dread that he has obtained from going to her bed. With his actions, he tries to hide this, but I know I can satisfy him with one kiss. A circle of friends I don't have here. My friends are a man and his beer. Once or twice I thought I met Mr. Right, but I am happier with just one night to satisfy my every need, to make the man beg and plead, for me to be his and his alone. I simply let out a board groan. No man can keep me like a treasure. I'm a woman for every man's pleasure. This man knew me by no more than my name, yet knew who I was, just the same. He asked me to be his lover, to join him nightly under his cover. I thought this offer rather clear, but he topped the offer with a case of beer. So now his lover I am, till I find my next man.
She comes back and heads straight to the bathroom, which happens to be a drunkard's stone-cold tomb. On the toilets, urine and puke may splatter, but Pearl's always there to clean up the ladder. With cigarette in mouth and mop in hand, she's the best cleaning person in the land. With smiles for none and words for fewer, she'll clean up after any skewer. Custodial duties for Shaw I perform. I mop, sweep, vacuum, and dust the whole dorm. At daybreak I arrive to find the place a mess. But after I comb through Shaw, the place sparkles, I must confess. I go to the bathroom and find toothpaste in the sink. There's a hairball in the drain, and the plugged up toilet stinks. The bathroom's the worst on Mondays, after weekends at Phi Tau. The stuff I find in the toilets would leave a trucker's stomach raw. Armed with only disinfectant, a plunger and a rag, I clean up the kind of messes that make other janitors gag. Once the bathroom is in order, I go to the hallway to sweep. I rev up the vacuum at 8 a.m. Who cares if they're trying to sweep? I I sweep away cigarette butts to accommodate those who smoke, but to say I'm not the worst offender would be telling you a joke. I get my daily exercise, toting garbage down the stairs. My biceps bulge and my quads are huge, so mess makers better beware. Head cracked open from the toilet bowl, must seek help from the doctor at school. One ventures down to the health center quack, knowing full well a degree he lacks. Blood gushing from your head, he tells you have mononucleosis instead, and gives you codeine in order of 20 doses. Go to bed, rest your head, is all he said. Now pray to God your parents aren't told you're dead.
I am the health doctor. I act strange and funny. My job is basically useless, but I get paid lots of money. A stethoscope and a thermometer are my preferred tools. I can't give you any serious medication because of all the bureaucratic rules. So just lay down on the table, don't be alarmed. Here's some free cough drops and condoms. They'll protect you from harm. Tylenol and amoxicillin will fix you right up. And if you're drinking heavily this weekend, remember to puke it all up. My office hours are 8 to 9, so don't bother me each Monday with hangovers from wine. My cozy little office is buried deep below Shaw. It would be simple to tell you the things I've heard and saw. Blood gushing from her head, he tells her she has mononucleosis instead.
Go to bed and rest your head.
And now pray to God that her parents aren't told that she's dead. Westminster students must be a hardy brood, because it sure is harmful to their health to eat that Marriott food.
When the day comes and you recover, you leave the recluse of your cover. You venture out to see the light of day, and are nearly run over by the horse in your way. Everywhere you turn to see, an Amish buggy is sure to be. They venture to town dressed mostly in black. From their smell, hygiene they surely lack. With straw hat, kids, and wife, they lead a very deprived life. No TV, cars, or even a light to liven up a New Wilmington life.
Away from the city and up in the hills, I live an Amish life and curse society's ills. The name is Eli, and I wear black. I work in the fields, never giving any flack.
Whether I'm tending the fields or milking the cow, I have enjoyed my life up to now. One day I was thrown from a horse in brutal style, and walking home stepped in a plow. The barn we raised fell back down, and tourists took pictures as if I was a clown.
Go away!
I realized that college kids were the key. To some fun, so off to WC.
The students I followed were very... They took me in and expanded my mind. Classes, people, and ideas they showed me. But of course, I was most interested in technology. The music they played seemed to put me in a trance. But soon enough, I was showing them my own dance. The students are most happy when they're drinking beer. However, moonshine is something they should fear. However, moonshine is something they should fear.
What's in here? I spit.
Oh, sorry. day I spent was so much fun. This I'll remember from when I was young. My happiness was obvious to all who could see. Even though we never made it to a fraternity.
But soon I realized my life has a call to be backwards and define the sins for all. So I headed back with tears in eye to the farm and to the backward sty. I'll never be back to old WC to laugh and sing and to party. Beyond the good times and friendships you bridge, you must always come back to your heritage.
A deprived life they may lead, but they don't have what you need to survive the scare that Robo gives, so that on the weekends you may live. With backpacks strapped on, you go off to visit friends and party, but always fear being thought of as naughty. His lights and sirens you do fear, but when on campus, he can't come near. He tolls around town looking for crime, just to fill up his time. College students are his prey, so heed my warning, stay out of Robo's way.
As I ride through the campus where I terrorize drunks, I take a good look around and think, what a bunch of punks. But that's just fine for a robo like me. I shun underage drinking at fraternities. Early in the morning, I'm making my rounds. I listen for strange and unusual sounds, fool, and I've been ranting and raving so long that even Oscar thinks that my mind is gone. I'm an officer of New Wilmington, and you know I'm the best. I got a gun in my hand and a badge on my chest. I've been spending most of my life living in the tyrant's paradise. I play the sirens once or twice, living in a tyrant's paradise. It's hard work and sacrifice, living in a tyrant's paradise. A local boy gave me the finger today, so I locked him up and threw the key away. I really don't care, in fact I wish him well, 'cause I'll be laughing my head off when he's rotting in jail. I always punch the students whenever they deserve it. A cop with an attitude, that's not unheard of. I like to beat people up, but sometimes I sue, and my homies agree I really look good in blue. If you come to visit, you better watch your back, 'cause you just never know when I might attack. I ain't really quaint, so please don't point and stare, or else I'll have to make you physically impaired. I'm not caring, gentle, or loving. I'm all about scrutiny. Like Hannibal Lecter, I'm as scary as can be. I've been spending most of my life living in a tyrant's paradise. I write tickets all of my life, living in a tyrant's paradise. Riding in the squad car, kicking lots of butt, cleaning out my gun, and stopping for a donut. Think you're really innocent? Think you're above the law? If you step out of line, I'll break your freaking jaw. I'm the kind of cop all the troopers want to be like on the streets day and night, watching everything nuts in sight. So don't be vain and don't be whiny, or else I might have to beat your big fat old hiney.
Although our journey has taken long, we are finally here where we belong. St. Oscar Remick is mounting me, so now let him speak.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the office. I'm glad your travels brought you here at least. And I know you've been studying the Canterbury Tales and you've been concerned about journeys. I'd give you a word of advice. I've found, at least so far in my life, that life is really a journey, and it's not marked so much by destinations reached.
But what if...
Are you done?
Chevy Cavaliers got what the others don't.